Here's the Hyundai starting lineup. Abrams back in the leadoff spot against the right-hander. Abimelec Ortiz is off to a great start in his career. Andres Chaparro has been red hot. Nats, though, have been held to 5 runs in the first 2 games of this series. The best offensive team in baseball, missing a couple of key parts, including James Wood.
Yep, and the Toyota numbers for Christian. This is his third career start, against the Nationals. He's winless and loseless. I guess, is that a word?
No, it's not.
Well, hasn't got a win. How's that? And hasn't got a loss. He's 0-0.
He's unbeaten.
2 no decisions.
His first fastball is outside to C.J. Abrams, and we're underway. Abrams had a weird day yesterday. He grounded out to first base 4 times in a row.
Yes. Last one was a robbery. Beautiful play by young Jared at first base. That would have been an RBI double.
The last time a player grounded out to first base 4 times in a game against the Mets was 21 years ago. Nafid Perez of the Cubs.
Oh, wow.
So it was an historic day for Abrams. Not quite as historic as, Joshua Baez, but not bad. Broken bat liner, and overcomes Beatty to grab it. Scott got that cutter right onto the hands and snapped the bat.
The Genesis defense. Torrens back behind the dish. Oh boy. Well, that was like that car. I thought it was that 1-800 number, the 888 number, but the cannon out in right field, obviously. Benj has got a great arm, but a lot of guys have good arms, but they're not accurate. They miss cutoff man. He does not. And that man gets the first start out in left field.
And that's brand new. Robert had never started a big league game, never played a big league game in left field. 3 starts in the minors, the last one in 2019, and a few dozen when he was in Cuba a decade ago. But with A.J. Ewing being the center fielder of the future and the present, Robert is going to get a little force feeding in left field. Well, Carson Bench with a 98-mile-an-hour assist yesterday. Your Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage.
They should have never sent that runner. He was way too shallow, and he didn't rush his throw. He knew he didn't have to, and he just made a perfect 1-hop. I mean, that's so important with a catcher. Even though the catcher's mitts are more like a first baseman's mitt today, it's still not an easy play when they got to catch the ball, then look to the runner to tag. He gave him a nice long 1-hop, long hop.
Abimelec Ortiz, just his 9th big league start, and he's blown away by Scott for the second out. 98 up. 2 out.
Well, we're going to take a look at this throw, and you can see how shallow it is. And just the perfect, hits the cutoff man, 1-hop to the catcher. You can't ask for more.
Since StatCast began in 2015, Bench has the 3 hardest outfield assist throws for the Mets. Dylan Cruz takes a strike, and Scott has really got his good fastball today early on.
Well, he always starts out really with a lot of velocity, because I just think he gets so charged up every start. Then he kind of settles in.
Well, his last start, the first inning, was rough for him. Bench back in the gap, right near the wall. He makes a beautiful catch. Psychopathic play by Bench as he smacks the wall after making the backhand grab.
You see it all the time.
Man, it is fun to watch this outfield play. Ewing and Bench and Robert all getting the job done. Now Carson Bench keeps outdoing himself. Another tremendous play.
I'll say he ran a long way for this ball and crashed into that wall. That gets a reaction from the bullpen. Yeah, clap. Watch him run for this ball. He got a long way to go. Fearless.
Just enough time to brace himself and avoid injury. Robbing Dylan Cruz of an extra base hit. And now A.J. Ewing leads off against Jake Irvin in the bottom of the first. That one hurt. DJ has not been getting results lately. He's been hitting the ball hard, but 0 for 8 in this series.
And there's Jake Irwin's numbers right there, and his 15th start. As Gary mentioned, coming off the IL, he hasn't pitched well.
3 starts since he's come back. He has a 7.90 ERA. Last start against the Cubs, he lasted just 3 1/3, gave up 5 runs.
And he almost averages 4 walks per 9 innings and gives up 8 hits. That's a lot of traffic.
And the home run ball's been bothering him since he's come back as well. Gets ahead on Ewing 0-2 with Lindor and Bichette to follow. The Mets saw Irvin at his best 2 years ago. He pitched a brilliant game against the Mets on the 4th of July in D.C. But last year was a struggle for him. He had a 5.7 ERA, gave up 38 home runs, leading the National League. And this year, an injury-plagued year, and the results have been about the same.
Yeah, he's a 24-40 career record.
And he uses the breaking ball to strike out Ewing. That's his out pitch, that curveball. Here's the Honda starting lineup. Luis Torrens, who's been red hot, gets a start today. Luis Robert, as Keith mentioned, playing his first game in the big leagues in left field. Simeon getting the day off with Beatty playing second base. Here's Lindor, who had his 10th career walk-off RBI yesterday. His 7th as a Met. He's moving up on the career list. Wilmer Flores has the most walk-off RBIs in Mets history with 10. David Wright and Pete Alonso each had 9. Kevin McReynolds had 8. And then Lindor's in the next group with Ed Kranepool and Rusty Staub at 7. Francisco's had good career numbers against Irvin. 348 with 2 home runs through 23 at bats. Good off-speed pitch there. That's a good changeup.
I'll say good sink. And he's got a good breaking ball. I liked him when he came up. He's a big, strong kid. He's 6'6", 234 pounds, 29 years of age.
Grew up in Minnesota and Bloomington, right where the old Met Stadium was, between Minneapolis and St. Paul.
He was a 4th-round pick in 2018 by the Nats.
Lindor over the last 25 games hitting .309 with a .995 OPS. His last month has been more like himself. Bounces one foul outside first.
Minnesota, that old stadium, they had one of the great curveball pitchers, Camilo Pascual, if you remember, Gary. Had a great curveball.
Also had a pretty good pair in Mudcat Grant and Jim Cott.
Yep.
And that one nearly hit Lindor on his back foot, but it's 3-2 now. See, I thought when we talked about Metropolitan Stadium, you were going to mention Joe Kapp.
The Purple People Eaters.
Great Vikings quarterback. Alan Page.
Gary Larson. Carl Eller.
Jim Marshall.
Jim Marshall ran the wrong way against the 49ers.
The Purple People Eaters.
Yes. Wally Hildenberg, Roy Winston.
I'm glad I got you going. Carl Kasolke.
Yes.
3-2 on the way.
Charlie West.
Inside ball 4, and Lindor's on with a walk.
That was my team in high school. I love them. Oh, the defender defense. We're going to sneak it in here behind Jake Irvin. We got Ruiz back behind the plate. Lyle gets to start in left instead of right. Cruz second start in right field. And Vivas, who started in third base the first game, is at second base.
There's Bo Bichette, 2 for 8 in this series. Go back to the 1st of June. 64 games since then. Bichette is hitting over 300. His numbers have gotten more and more to resemble what the Mets expected when he arrived from Toronto. And he lines one the other way for a base hit. So the Mets have 2 men on with 1 out as Bichette, with a classic Bichette swing, takes one the other way.
That's what he does best. I think this is a game that the Mets can put the thumb down quick on this team with that devastating loss yesterday. I mean, they're now, the Nats are 6.5 back in the wild card.
Now Carson Bench has already put his imprint on this game. Gets a breaking ball and pops it up. Infield fly roll will be called. Batter is out. And Abrams reaches out to grab it. Guess you can play it casually like that when the infield fly rule's in effect.
Yeah.
2 out.
That's about the only time.
So the Sooner beat the Cowboy in that at-bat.
Oh, that's right. Cross-state rivals.
Jake Irvin, University of Oklahoma.
Norman, Oklahoma.
Here's Jared Young, who has a double and a home run in this series. And the 2-run double in the first inning to get the Mets started yesterday. And he takes that curveball for a strike.
I think it's very important that he's been using the opposite field. He likes to pull, but he went down the left field line on a backdoor breaking ball. It was a big base hit.
2 on and 2 out, and Irvin throws a fastball by him, and it's 0-2.
Well, here's your double down the left field line on the backdoor breaking ball. That got 2.
Jared pops this one up. Should be easy for Vivas. And that retires the side. Mets strand a pair in the first inning after 1 no score. Second inning, Dylan Lyle leads off against Christian Scott. He threw just 9 pitches in a 1-2-3 first inning. Lyle's 1 for 8 in this series. Just 23 years old from Louisville, second round pick in 2021. This is such a young Washington team. All of their stars are still babies. James Wood and C.J. Abrams and Dylan Lyle. They haven't had a position player older than 28 taking at bat this year. Highest scoring team in baseball, most home runs in baseball, most stolen bases in baseball, undone by their pitching. And we've seen that the last 2 days. Swing and a miss, 2-2 to Lyle. The Nats suffered blown saves in each of the first 2 games of this series. 38 blown saves for the year, the most of any team in baseball.
Four-seamer on the grip.
Too high, 3-2. Brady House on deck. Then Jorby Vivas against Scott, who's making his 18th start of the year, the 27th start of his career. He had a rough start against the Nats back in May. Matched up against Irvin in that game as well. That's inside ball 4, and Lyle's on with a walk. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Novig, the official prediction market of the New York Mets, where America predicts sports. That game back on May 18th in Washington was a wild game, which the Mets wound up winning 16-7 by scoring 10 runs in the 12th inning.
It was a rematch of this, as far as the starting pitchers were concerned. Both obviously left the game with no decisions.
Brady House has had a good series. He had the big hit yesterday for the Nats, a 3-run homer against Sean Manaea. And that one hits him on the shoulder.
Oh boy. Well, that's get out of Dodge right there. That ball was running in, and that is pull the ejector cord immediately. Well, that was wanted to be a slider.
Yeah.
And it just didn't. He dropped his arm.
I mean, before it started to break, it looked like it was headed toward his face. So he got that arm up. The 8th batter Scott has hit this year, and so the Nats have the first 2 men on in the second. And here's Jorby Vivas playing second base today with Nasim Nunez getting a day off. Vivas 1 for 4 in this series. You shed in on the grass at third, thinking Vivas might be asked to bunt. But he's set to swing, and he takes a fastball for a strike.
Note that Torrens kind of with his hand signaled to before he went into his motion, stretched. Slow down, calm down, don't overthrow.
Vivas trying to wait on that cutter, but fouled it back, and it's 0-2. The cutter has become an important pitch for Scott. It's a brand new pitch for him since the Tommy John surgery. He's thrown it 17% of the time, but it has been his out pitch. Batters are hitting just 135 against it. 0-2 coming, and he tried the sweeper, and he got him on the swinging strike for the first out of the inning.
Pretty obvious right here.
Plate umpire Willie Trainer made that call himself. First time we've seen Trainer behind the plate in any Mets game. He's a rookie. Chris Guccione is the crew chief.
Supposed to be hitter friendly.
Well, he wasn't on that.
Well, he had no choice.
Not that friendly. There's Andres Chaparro, and he takes a fastball on the outside corner. Chaparro DHing today. He had a home run against Minaya yesterday on an 0-2 pitch. He has been red hot, over 1,000 OPS since the All-Star break.
He holds his hands way high.
Sweeper well outside. It's 1-1.
Well, here's the home run yesterday. It was 0-2 pitch, as Gary mentioned. He tried to come inside with a fastball, Minaya, and didn't get it in enough. And he was up to the task.
First time Minaya had given up a home run on an 0-2 pitch in 5 years. Lyle at second, House at first with one out, and Chaparro with a late swing foul. 1-2. One-two coming, and Chaparro fouls off that fastball. Scott has been fastball heavy early for a 96-98. And Chaparro yanks that breaking ball foul.
That was a hanger right there. Got away with it. In the infield, Jared Young playing way off the line. And I like that. So Chaparro is probably a pull hitter. I don't like him playing so much. I know it's because they want him to get to the bag, but even if I'd rather have moved deeper and then come a little, maybe 3 or 4 feet closer to the line. It's almost like halfway on the infield.
Seventh pitch of the at bat from Scott to Chaparro, and he popped it up. Beatty retreats, still backpedaling, and he makes the grab. They never called the infield fly rule.
They didn't.
And that's the second out.
Well, he was backpedaling there, so never really got under it.
Like Ewing was trying to call him off, but Beatty stayed with it and made the play. So now 2 out. Here's Keibert Ruiz, who sat yesterday when Harry Ford did the catching. Ruiz having his best season, and he's been hot lately despite his 0 for 4 on Friday night, hitting .370 over his last 8 games. Two on and 2 out. And Ruiz gets one off the fists of foul ball. 0-1. Their Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. We've mentioned the cutter of Christian Scott, a new pitch this year, but it's been one of the most effective cutters in baseball. Zarowski pitched last night, beat the Dodgers. A little floater into shallow right. That's going to fall for a hit. And Lyle will come home to score. The throw goes to second, and now they've got the runner trapped between second and third. And Lindor puts the tag on House for the third out. So it's an RBI single for Ruiz, and then House is thrown out. Bench gets credit for another assist. Well, the Nats get the first run of the game, but House caught between second and third.
Really, you don't want to challenge the arm here. He made the wide turn, and alertly Benj saw it and threw behind, and they get him in the rundown. I mean, it's bad base running.
And fortunately for the Mets, House gave up right before the tag because third base was uncovered. Looked like Scott was trying to get there to cover.
Torrens, once the run scored, Torrens could have busted to third base.
And then the first baseman covers home.
Yes. Very good, Gare.
I've watched a few games.
Very good fundamentals.
Luis Robert 1 for 4 in this series. Well, this is the first experience in left field today for Robert, who's yet to have a chance out there. He's been swinging a hot bat the last week or so. Last 7 games, hitting .346. And he pops one up on the right side in foul ground, playable for Ortiz. So Irvin's got the last 3 hitters to pop up. And that's the first out of the home second. Hello. First game?
Oh, a lot of young babies at the ballpark over the weekend. It's been nice.
As opposed to the old babies?
Well, just think, Gary, we were once that age, you know? Think about it.
We all were. Oh, the straw is always a good toy. Gotta love the straw. Got the straw, got the pacifier.
Whatever it takes.
All covered.
Whatever it takes to keep them occupied and from crying.
Brett Beatty's got 2 home runs against Jake Irvin in his career. Those 6 hits in his last 48 at bats for Brett. Irvin spins that curveball in for a strike, and it's 0-2. That's got a couple of men on in the first inning, but we're unable to convert.
Really, Ortiz is playing first base on the line. He's around 10-12 feet from the line. I don't think that Brett is that kind of a pull hitter. I mean, he's pretty much gap to gap. But I would want to know, as I've always mentioned, and when the off-speed or the breaking ball is coming, because that's the ball that would be more inclined to the left-hander to pull.
Beatty fouls off a curveball to stay in the at-bat.
Irvin's got good stuff. I just, you know, he's 24-40 lifetime. You know, this is his 105th start. He's got an ERA coming into this game at 5.04. I just don't understand. It should be better than that.
Well, we certainly have seen him at his best. But the start he made against the Mets in Washington in May, the Mets hit him pretty hard. Got him out of there after 4 innings. Wasn't too long after that he went on the injured list with a shoulder strain. And he strikes out Beatty with the curveball.
That's a pretty good one right there.
That's his second strikeout of the day. 2 out.
This is a good one. There it is, and watch it drop. And Beatty was out in front too.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Jorge Polanco, and we came on the air today talking about Polanco's hit in the 9th inning yesterday. And it kind of gets lost with the heroics from Alvarez and Lindor driving in the tying and winning runs. But Polanco's hit was a table setter and badly needed for Jorge.
Yes. He's such a pro.
And he lines that one into right field for a base hit. So maybe yesterday was the start of something big. He got the breaking ball to hit yesterday. This time he hit a fastball.
Likes that ball middle end, and that's just good to see. As I mentioned, he is a real pro, and he's heard the boo birds here, and he's handled it professionally, and I'm just glad to see him hopefully having a strong finish.
It's a guy who had 26 home runs last year. He was a postseason hero for the Mariners. There's Luis Torrens, who's in the hottest stretch of his career. Last 6 games, Torrens is 7 for 15 with 3 homers and 8 RBIs.
I believe all 3 home runs have been to the opposite field.
Only got 5 home runs this year. 3 of them came on the just completed road trip. Gets a breaking ball and pops this one up in foul ground. And Ortiz is there to grab it, and that retires the side. After 2, and Nats 1, Mets nothing. Classic Burger. Fill in your ballpark bites bracket for a chance to win tickets to try this bite at the stadium. Go to MLB.com/bracket. That's a different kind of bite. That's pastrami, man. And there's no beating pastrami. And the ballpark pastrami here is outstanding. Jacob Young leads off and takes high from Christian Scott. Young 3 for 8 in this series, having his best offensive run. Last 9 games hitting .433. The corners are in against him as always. Pops one foul back and out of play, 1-1. Young, then C.J. Abrams and Abimelec Ortiz against Scott, who walked a batter, hit a batter, and paid for it on Gabriel Ruiz's RBI single in the second. That's line to center field. Ewing hurries in. 1 out. Well, Keith and I were very sad today to hear of the passing of Tommy John. Tommy will always be remembered for the surgery that bears his name, but lest we forget, he was a fabulous pitcher.
No question. Came up with the White Sox as a 20-year-old in 1963. With the White Sox, his best year was in '73. He won 16 ball games. Oh, I'm sorry, that was with the Dodgers. And what was interesting, Gary, in '74, he was 13-3 when his season was shortened for the surgery, for the procedure. And he had some terrific years with the Dodgers, 3-time 20-game winner, lifetime 288 wins, and I'm a strong proponent of him as a Hall of Famer.
Well, he had the surgery, which had never been performed before. Frank Jobe just made it up to take a tendon and turn it into a ligament and recreate his elbow that way, and nobody knew if it was going to work. And it worked so well that Tommy John pitched 14 more seasons after the surgery. Everybody else who has had that surgery can only thank Tommy for being willing to be a guinea pig.
His postseason numbers, Garrett, which his a 6-3 record with a 2.65 earned run average, 1 relief appearance, 13 starts.
C.J. Abrams swings and misses, and he's down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Scott.
My first year in the big leagues, Tommy was with the Dodgers, and first time I faced him at Dodger Stadium, he led me off with a slider that broke like this. It started at my hip, and it had this kind of a break, and he kind of threw up here across his body a little bit, and he had a big shoulder lift. It was hard to pick up, and he had the hard sinker inside and can throw it for a strike. Just hard in, that big slider away. I remember when I took it, I went, oh my God, I'd never seen a slider from a left-hander like that before, not in AAA. He was just a great pitcher. He was a very a man of faith, and just a wonderful man, and he'll be missed. He should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to continue to promote him for that. 288 wins.
Abimelec Ortiz hits one deep in the gap in left center. Robert looks up, and it's gone. Abimelec Ortiz with his 5th home run in just 38 big league at bats, and it's 2-0 Washington. This guy has come up and just put on a show. He took Luis Garcia's spot at first base after Garcia was traded to the Yankees, and he's putting up even better production than Garcia did.
Well, opposite field power goes right with the pitch. No, right there on the barrel.
So 2-0 Washington, and now Dylan Cruz. Just to put a cap on what you were talking about, there is only one pitcher who has more wins and is not in the Hall of Fame than Tommy John, and that's Roger Clemens.
Okay.
So the credentials are certainly there for Tommy, and it's a shame he did not get to see the Hall of Fame in his lifetime, but perhaps he will be inducted posthumously.
That's interesting that he went to Indiana State at Terre Haute, which is where the Bird went, right?
Same school as Sean Manaea.
Born in 1943. Just a wonderful man, and he will be missed.
Dylan Cruz was robbed of an extra base hit by Carson Bench his first time up. And he goes down on the high fastball. 4 strikeouts for Scott, but Ortiz's home run adds to the Nats lead. They're up 2-0 in the 3rd. Lady Liberty gleaming in the harbor. Second time around the batting order for Jake Irvin, and now has a 2-0 lead. A.J. Ewing struck out his first time up.
Struck
Bichette to follow.
Struck out on a back foot slider out of the strike zone.
After fouling one off his foot to start the at bat. He takes that changeup down. 2-0.
Oh, he's got it all over his face.
Well, that's why they invented napkins.
Yes.
2-1 to Ewing. So the baseball world is buzzing today about Joshua Baez, the Cardinal rookie who became the first player ever to hit 3 home runs in his major league debut yesterday.
Something else.
Did you know that with his 12 total bases in his major league debut, right, 3 home runs, 12 total bases, he broke the record that was previously held by a catcher who played his first game for the Tampa Bay Rays in 2010 and had 11 total bases in his big league debut, and is now the Mets catching coach, J.P. Arencibia.
Oh, wow.
He had the record all by himself, 11 total bases in a big league debut, and that has now been broken. Fouled off the left side, and House giving chase. He might get there, and he tumbles into the netting, but came up empty. Is he all right?
No,
he might have hurt himself.
On the concrete.
He hit the concrete hard as he dove into the netting. That was quite an effort by Brady House. Trainer's out there along with his manager Blake Butera. He was playing halfway between second and third, so he had a very long sprint, and on the dead run dove into the netting, figuring that that would give him cushion, but he didn't figure on the concrete that's behind the padding underneath the netting.
He said, "I'm all right."
Yeah, he doesn't look all right.
I always worry about shoulder separations when you go.
Well, it's clearly his right shoulder that he landed on.
See, that knocked him off balance.
He was tripped up by the tarp. I mean, look how far he had to go.
Yep, they're playing way off the line.
Yeah.
looked like he might have jammed his elbow into the concrete, which might have separated his shoulder. He's able to manipulate that arm, so that's good. And he's going to try and stay in the game. That's great to see.
Of course, he had the 3-run home run yesterday.
You're going to have him make a throw now just to see if he's all right.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
So the Nats survived that scare. They're already without their big gun. James Wood is out with an oblique injury. And Blake Gutierrez said today that Wood is not coming along quickly, not as fast as they expected. So he's going to be out a while longer. Meanwhile, Ewing back at the plate with a 3-2 count, leading off the home third, with Lindor and Bichette to follow. And Irvin misses with a curveball. And the Mets have a leadoff base runner. Second walk given up by Irvin. Around the Majors presented by Mohegan Sun. We talked about Joshua Baez. Oh, the Rays might have won 9 in a row, but now they're in danger of getting swept by the Orioles. They're down 10-1 today. Alex Bregman had a 3-home run game, but the Cubs got waxed by the Cardinals yesterday. And the Guardians reached 10,000 wins, but they are in a struggle. Although the Guardians beat the Padres last night 6-1, and the Padres, who had been red hot with the bats, were held to 1 hit. Padres are coming in here tomorrow night. San Diego has won 16 of their last 21. Despite the loss yesterday. A pickoff. Ewing heading for second, and Abrams makes the tag, and Ewing is out. Third pickoff of the season for Jake Irvin.
He was quick over there.
Tried the swim move, but Abrams got him. Irvin has one of the better right-handed pickoff moves, and Ewing got flummoxed.
We got picked off here, not flummoxed.
Well, you can be picked off and be flummoxed. It's a matter of fact, picked off, caught stealing, and flummoxed. It's a triple header. Lindor drew a walk his first time up. That is the 7th time that Ewing's been caught stealing. He has 16 steals this year, not a great percentage. And Lindor pops one up.
Way out there.
Getting a lot of pop-ups early in this game.
Just a lot of uppercuts.
Cruz comes in to get it 2 out.
I just noticed the Mets have my favorite home uniform with the pinstripes, the classic home uniform.
It's a good look.
I like it. Beats the racing stripes.
Well,
not even close. But you know, we wore it well.
Well, you didn't have the black uniforms on Friday nights. The City Connects on Saturday.
Thank goodness.
Bichette takes a huge rip and foul tips it 0-2. Mets are taking some big swings against Irvin, who has a reputation of giving up a lot of home runs. But all the Mets are doing early in this game is popping the ball up. Ewing checking out the pickoff move of Irvin. 1-2 to Bichette. Changeup misses down 2-2. Bichette had a base hit to right field his first time up. One of 2 hits for the Mets. Polanco has the other one. So far, Jake Irvin not looking like a guy who had a 7.90 ERA in his 3 starts off the injured list. Planes are flying low today, Keith. Curveball outside, 3-2. Speaking of pitchers and injuries, Paul Skeens was supposed to pitch for the Pirates today, but he had his start pushed back to Wednesday. They're saying it's not because of an injury, but his velocity has been down lately, as you probably know.
So they would say that would be a tired arm. Back in our day where we were playing, if his velocity was down, skip a start. It's a good idea. Red Sox are kind of come back to earth, haven't they?
Although Sonny Gray pitched to Jim last night, 7 scoreless. He's now 15-3 with a 2.65. Up and in for ball 4. So the second walk of the inning for Irvin and his 3rd of the afternoon. Simon Matthews, the youthful pitching coach of the Nationals. The entire brain trust of this team is youthful. Paul Taboni, their president of baseball operations, Blake Butera, their manager.
Yep.
It is a very youthful management team in addition to being a very young team. One of the few exceptions to the youngness of this team is the former Met Trevor Williams, who today reached 10 years of Major League service time.
Good for him.
Which is a huge milestone for any player.
He's a good guy. Nice man.
And Gary, you mentioned the youthfulness of the head honchos at the Nats. Paul Taboni, talk about his youth. He was college teammates with Marcus Semien at Cal. They were incredibly close friends. They still speak often. The families are close. The wives are close. 9 kids amongst the 2 of them, but one of them running baseball ops, the other one still playing.
All credit to Marcus, 13 years in. Curveball in there for a call, strike 3. Ben just caught looking on the hook. 3rd strikeout for Irvin. Still 2-0 Nats after 3. Fourth inning, 2-0 Nationals. Dalen Lyle leads off against Christian Scott. Fouls the first fastball back. Lyle drew a walk and scored the first Washington run in the 2nd inning. And Lyle skies one out to right, and a few strides his bench. 1 out. Brady House coming up. We check in with Steve.
Gary, we saw Bo Bichette on base for the 2nd time today in that last half inning, and everybody rightly so focuses on Bichette offensively, but it's kind of flown under the radar how good he has been at 3rd base, the transition that he made in his first year this year. And speaking with him, the interesting thing about that transition is what he had to do to get fully comfortable at 3rd base. So much of it is about instinct because of how quickly the ball gets on you, and he just, because not having the history of being there, didn't have that instinct. So what he started to do is he has the pitch comm in his ear, and he starts to anticipate as that soft ground ball is hit perfectly right to him, and he gets the 2nd out of the inning. Perfect for my report as well. But he anticipates, based on what the pitcher is throwing, where that ball might be hit if it comes to him and how hard it might be hit. So the example he gave is that if the changeup is thrown by Devin Williams, he has a pretty good idea. A right-hander, if he makes contact and hits it on the ground, it's going to be topped over. So his first thought is come in on the baseball, and that little preparation has helped him look more instinctive out there, even if it's not necessarily fully instinct.
Now, Steve, am I correct? You mentioned that the infielders have pitch comms. They know the pitch is coming.
Yeah, well, he does. Not everybody has a pitch comm on the field, but they have a certain number that they are allowed to divvy up.
I would have a pitch comm if I was playing today at my position.
Off the glove of Lindor, and safe at first is Vivas. Looked like he had timed his leap perfectly, but it popped out of the mid, and Vivas has an infield hit.
Oh, it just kind of overpowered. Above the fingertips. Ball hit too hard. Oh, so Steve, we'll go back to I would want the pitch comp for one reason. Now, Bichette's to me, you mentioned his biggest adjustment is when you're a middle infielder, you can see the pitch and you can read the swing because you're more up the middle and you're further back. You're on the corners, you don't. It's more reactive. You can't really anticipate, but you can anticipate off-speed pitches. Now, a right-hand hitter in Bichette's case, in my case, a left-hand hitter. I would want a pitch con because I would want to know when a changeup is coming or when a breaking ball is coming, and I would slide over towards the line. That's a ball more inclined to be pulled. I used to have the verbal signs. Oh, strike three. I'm talking right into this commercial here. Why don't you send this away?
That was good, Keith. Thanks.
5 strikeouts for Scott. Still 2-0 Nats.
Santana into the windup. The payoff pitch on. Swung on and missed. Strike three. He's done it. Johan Santana has pitched a no-hitter.
That Howie Rose highlight presented by Resorts World New York City. And don't miss the documentary, which premieres on Tuesday. Howie Rose Put It in the Books, presented by Resorts World New York City. Premieres Tuesday after the postgame only on SNY. Simon Lehrer produced it. It is well worth watching. Might shed a few tears and some smiles along the way. Hi, Howie. Yeah, we're talking about you. Jared Young leads off in the home 4th against Jake Irvin, who's been able to work around traffic each of the first 3 innings. 2 hits, 3 walks, but the Mets unable to crack the scoreboard yet. And Young bangs one into right center for a base hit. Jared Young just stays hot. He has been scorching for more than a month.
Hits the ball hard, too.
So the Mets have a leadoff base runner. And now Luis Robert will step in.
Oh.
If you were watching yesterday's game in the 9th inning, the Mets had the winning run at 3rd. And Alvarez, who had driven in the tying run, was at 2nd. And Robert was sent as a pinch runner by Andy Green to run for Alvarez. And we were wondering at the time, why would you do that when that run doesn't mean anything, right? The winning run's at 3rd base. And so I asked Andy about it today, and he said Pache was the pinch runner at 3rd, and because of his speed, the Mets had a contact play on, which meant on any ground ball, Pache was going to break for the plate, and he wanted a fast runner at 2nd to make sure that he got to 3rd safely if they threw out Pache at the plate, and that would then keep the inning alive with another fast man at 3rd base. And that was why he used Robert as a pinch runner.
Well, it makes sense.
I had never seen a manager do that before, but it's a great strategic move on the very off chance that the inning breaks that way.
And obviously Torrens would go behind the plate.
Right. And you had Torrens available for extra innings if those presented themselves. Fastball right there for strike 3. Robert goes down looking for the 4th Irvin strikeout of the day.
Irvin's got good stuff. He's throwing a good ball game.
Well, he needs one. This is as far as he got in his last start against the Cubs. He went 3 1/3, gave up 5 runs. There's Brett Beatty, who struck out his first time up. But you know, the first 2 games of this series have gone kind of this way.
Yep.
Mets were held in check in the first game through 5 innings by Andrew Alvarez. After they got 2 runs in the first inning yesterday, Will Dion held them without a hit for 4 1/3, getting through the 5th. And the Mets were able to rally both times against the Nationals bullpen.
Yep, the Mets were kind of late to the party the first 2 games.
Beatty struck out his first time up, this time ahead of the count. Beatty gets a 2-0 changeup. That's an interesting pitch selection there by Irvin.
Back-to-back changeups too.
He's already walked 3. See if Beatty is swinging 3-0. He's the tying run at the plate. And he takes a strike, 3-1.
Well, that Beatty hit the home run in that game on May 18th. Garrett, that extra inning ball game off of Irvin.
Irvin's already picked 1 runner off today. He's got a nice quick move for a right-hander.
He sure does.
3 pickoffs this year, 4 for his career.
He's an athlete, and he hasn't forgotten about the runners too. So he's got good sense.
It's often hard for the big right-handers to have good pickoff moves. That's ripped down the right field line by Beatty, and that's going to go into the corner. Hunt is digging for third as Cruz gets it in quickly, and Young will stop at third. Beatty with a ringing double, and the Mets have the tying runs in scoring position with 1 out.
Well, 2 breaking balls, a base, a single, and a double have gotten Irvin in trouble here. Just a flat slider hanging. And here come the Mets out of the chute finally. It takes them a while to wake up.
Need that extra jolt of caffeine.
Well, that was just a hanger right there, and Beatty jumped all over it.
So now Jorge Polanco, who had a base hit his last time up yesterday and a base hit his first time up today. See if he can keep it going. The infield is back with a 2-0 lead. Second and third, 1 out. And Polanco grounds one down to first. That'll get the run in. Ortiz takes it to the bag. Young comes home to score, and that cuts the Washington lead in half. It's 2-1. Well, Polanco makes sure he gets the run in. Just his 6th RBI of the season.
And he
Polanco picks up the Mets' first RBI of the day, tying run at third with 2 out. Here's Luis Torrens. Popped up his first time and swings and misses at a fastball. Torrens started the opening game of the series on Friday night. He was on base twice with a single and a walk, coming off his extraordinary road trip.
notice that Young plays, Jacob Young plays a real deep center field.
That's hit out to right center. Young had him played well. Does he have enough room? Back near the wall. It's out of here. Luis Torrens strikes again. A 2-run homer to put the Mets in front, 3-2. Can you believe this guy? Before the last road trip, he had 2 home runs all season. He's at 4 now in his last 7 games.
Luis got a very compact swing. And his strength is going up the middle to the opposite gap.
That's his first Citi Field home run this season. The first 5 all came on the road. So the Mets strike for 3 in the 4th and lead 3-2.
Fastball, all right down the pipe, belt high. Look at that hurry and follow through.
Ewing with a vicious cut, fouls him back 0-2.
Well,
that's the 12th home run Irvin's allowed this year, after giving up 38 to lead the league last year. And it's the number 9 hitter Torrens who strikes. Ewing takes the curveball down 1-2. AJ has struck out and walked today, 0 for 1. So Torrens now has 4 home runs in his last 17 at bats. It's crazy. On the inside corner, got him looking at a changeup, and Ewing is down. But the Mets score 3. Torrens with the 2-run homer to put him up 3-2. It's New York Sports Radio for New York Sports fans, with or without the grease, right here on SNY. The Carton Show with Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle, simulcasting live every weekday from 4 to 6 only on SNY. Not recommended if you're on a diet.
Well, you can have one, Garrett.
You can have anything you want.
Little ketchup, mayonnaise, mustard, pickles, lettuce, tomato.
I remember you putting together a burger a few years ago, and you used all 3 condiments.
Yes, I did.
I had never seen anybody do that before.
Really? Stick around.
I've seen 2 of the 3, but you're the only 3 condiment guy that I have been around.
And it's very delicious.
Gabriel Ruiz had an RBI single his first time up. That one really got in on him.
How did it not break the bat?
Well, Christian Scott now pitching with the lead for the first time, facing 8-9-1 in the Washington batting order. Jacob Young and C.J. Abrams to follow. And he struck him out. Got him with heat. 96-mile-an-hour fastball for the 6th strikeout of the day for Scott.
Well, he's got good gas upstairs. Anywhere, really. But upstairs has more life. Always does.
Now Jacob Young, who lined out to center field his first time up, and again the corners pinch in. The sweeper misses outside, ball 1. Before that pitch, Scott had thrown 9 straight strikes. Got to keep Dave happy by using his stats. If that sweeper in for a strike and it's 1-1, it's 10 of the last 11, Dave.
Well, here's that cutter on Ruiz that got in on his hands. Almost makes me think that he made his mind up to swing. Look where it's at, and it breaks in. I mean, just that ball was almost a foot inside. That's how much it ran in.
He didn't hit him in the thumbs. Scott's kept his pitch count low so far today. He's walked 1, hit a batter, struck out 6.
That's a nice little curveball he threw there, Garrett. Took a little off. 81 miles per hour. That is a pretty good pitch.
That's a new pitch for him too since the Tommy John.
Yep, it gives him a little off speed. Not everything one speed. I like it.
The next step for Christian is to develop his split change so he can use it more against the lefties. And another swing and a miss by Young on an upstairs fastball. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Scott, 7 for the day, 1 shy of his career high.
What's the old adage in baseball? Up and in, down and away. And he just got all tied up there.
So now 3rd time through the batting order, C.J. Abrams, who's 0 for 2 today and 0 for 8 in this series. And I have to wonder whether all the conversation about Abrams and switching positions is having an effect on him right now.
Oh, I wonder with the trade deadline they got, in Wood going down, that there's more of a burden on him to carry this club as well.
That's a good point. Abrams having himself a career year. Pops this one up. Should be easy for Lindor. And that retires the side. Shutdown inning for Christian Scott after the Mets got him the lead halfway through. 3-2 New York. Get big Family Sunday. Lots of kids on hand. And they get to dance to Francisco Lindor's walk-up music. What can make me feel this way? My girl. Talking about my girl. My girl.
Speak for yourself.
Lindor has walked and flied out today, 0 for 1. Jake Irvin spins one that just misses. 2-0. We have not had a challenge today in ABS.
I know. I've been chomping at the bit to make the calls.
Got the rookie umpire behind the plate, Willie Trainer.
He's been doing a great job, calling a great game so far.
Lindor lines one the other way for a base hit. Nice to see Lindor using the opposite field from the left side. Oh, this is it. This is Keith putting together his burger with the mayo and the ketchup.
Oh, it's a science.
And the mustard.
Look at that.
And you got the Pellegrino there too.
There you go. Oh, that is, let me tell you, that's years of experience right there.
Now, here's the thing. After you put all that goop on your hamburger and you pick it up to eat it, how much of it falls onto the plate or in your lap?
That's what you got index fingers for. You can scoop it up off the plate.
As long as it's not in your lap.
Oh, there it goes. I remember that.
You are a true gourmet.
Our producer, Gray Picker, was just, he makes me do that. He was just enthralled.
Here's the question that I have. You clearly were not at the ballpark when this concoction was assembled.
I don't know where we are.
Why were you wearing your credential? You're in a hotel restaurant. Did you need the credential to get into the hotel restaurant?
I always put my credential on because I'm afraid I'm going to leave it in the room. And then you get to the ballpark with security on the road. It's a lot of grief. You know that.
So you ate that monstrosity before you went to the ballpark?
I always eat before the park and try not to eat after. You know, maybe a social sparkler after, but not, you know, food.
As long as the hamburger didn't, you know, back up on you on your way to the ballpark. Lindor, wise after Ewing got picked off, was about a half step off the bag for that pickoff throw. Bichette's already been on base twice with an opposite field single and a walk. Mets now have 6 hits in the game. They've got the leadoff man on for the 3rd straight inning. And Bichette reaches out and pokes another base hit to right. Man, when he is going, he is an absolute machine with those opposite field hits.
And they keep on you. He can inside out the inside pitch, and then he can do this to you on the. I mean, that's a good slider right there, and he just pokes it into right field.
Well, you know how badly Blake Butera and the Nats would like to get some length out of Irvin. Their bullpen has been so beleaguered. Simon Matthews, the pitching coach, out there at the mound now. Irvin has thrown as many as 100 pitches this year, but no more than 88 since coming back from the injured list, and he's at 82 right now with nobody out in the 5th, and there's nobody throwing behind him. They used Will Dion for 4 1/3 yesterday. He's one of their long men. The other one is Trevor Williams, who threw 63 pitches on Wednesday, so I don't know if Trevor's available or not. So they would like to get some length here. But Carson Bench is going to try and make that harder. Bench has popped up and struck out 0 for 2 today. 2 on and nobody out. And Bench takes first pitch changeup for a strike. Carson has reached base safely in 18 straight games coming into the day, with a 1,001 OPS over those 18 games. Double play ball. Devos to second. Abrams to first. Got him for the 4-6-3 double play.
Boy, the double off Bench, he's got to hit it hard, and he hit that ball hard. It's such a fast infield in today's game.
Bebas was playing a little shallow at double play depth, and that probably helped as well. So 2 out, Lindor to third. It's only the 4th double play Irvin has generated this year. And now Jared Young, who had a base hit and scored a run his last time up, and takes a curveball at his feet for ball 1. And Jared pulls that one. Fair ball going down the line off the sidewall. Lindor in to score. Young goes to second. He's got an RBI double, and the Mets have a 4-2 lead. Second hit of the day for Young. Another RBI. Boy, this team is hot, and Young has been a huge part of it.
I mean, Young is making a statement here. Hey, he's playing against left-handers. I'm your first baseman next year.
You know, the Mets were just in Pittsburgh on the last road trip. And the Pirates have a player on their injured list who has had a career arc very much like Jared Young. Ryan O'Hearn came up with the Royals and was not a productive player, didn't get a chance to play much over his first few years. He went to Baltimore at age 30, 31, like Young is now, and has become a star and was a huge acquisition for the Pirates in the offseason. There's no reason to think this is a one-off for Young.
He's taking advantage of his opportunity. I'm repeating myself. I liked his swing in spring training. He got my attention right away, and you know, it's just a shame he had the meniscus, that he lost time playing. But boy, oh boy, he is a danger up there.
1-2 to Luis Robert, and that caught the outside corner. No challenge from Robert. 6 strikeouts for Irvin. Young with an RBI double to stretch the Met lead to 2. Sixth inning, 4-2 New York. Christian's got only 63 pitches through 5. That's a good sign. Abimelec Ortiz leads off in the third and pops one up foul, backing out of play. Ortiz hit an opposite field home run in the 3rd inning. His 5th home run in his first 38 at bats. The only other player since the Expos moved to Washington in 2005 to hit 5 home runs that quickly in his first big league stint was Joey Meneses a few years ago. Meneses had a great rookie year at age 30. Abimelec is only 24, and he is putting on a show.
Showing some off-field power.
Graduate of the Carlos Beltran Baseball Academy in Puerto Rico. And Carlos should be proud of what Ortiz is doing. Dylan Cruz and Delton Lyle to follow against Scott, who has struggled his 3rd time around batting orders this year. The 3rd time around the order this season, the opposition is hitting .342 against Scott. He's had trouble getting deep into games. Hasn't gone further than 6 innings this year. But they've also tried to limit his pitch counts at times because he is coming back from Tommy John this year. Grounded to the right side, and Young makes sure of it and takes it to the bag, 1 away. It's the road ahead. Your radio home for the Mets is 8:80 a.m. and streaming on the free Odyssey app. The Padres have won 16 of their last 21. They come in tomorrow. The White Sox have their biggest lead in the AL Central after beating the Tigers the last 2 days. And Jacob Mizorowski and the Brewers come in on the next homestand. Let's check in with Steve for more on the Padres.
Well, Gary, this is a team that just a few weeks ago seemed like they may be sellers. I mean, all the talk was about whether or not they were going to trade Mason Miller, but they've gone on this tear. They've jumped 4 teams. They're into playoff position right now. And it's not really that complicated as to why it's happening. Their stars are finally playing like stars again. Manny Machado, remember, through June 8th, he was the worst qualified hitter in Major League Baseball, had a .922 OPS in July. Fernando Tatis Jr. didn't hit a home run for the first 2 months of the season. He's been so much better lately. And Jackson Merrill as well, who really struggled up until July. He has been one of the hottest hitters in baseball for a little while now, as Bichette picks it and throws across the diamond wide. So Cruz gets on base. But again, the stars really playing like stars, and the Padres playing like we've seen the Padres play in the past.
And they added 2 starting pitchers at the deadline, picking up Robbie Ray, who we'll see here on Tuesday night, and Casey Mize. You see the turnaround for those 3. Merrill has been the biggest turnaround, and under the radar, their catcher Luis Campusano, who was hurt when the Mets went to San Diego early this year, he has been a big plus as well. That's an error charge to Bichette, and now Dylan Lyle takes a hack and misses, 0-1.
They haven't put it up on the scoreboard yet. That's an E5, correct?
I promise you. Lyle has walked and flied out 0 for 1. Cruz can steal a base. He's got 8 on the year. It's fouled away. It was a beautiful pickup by Bichette, sweeping that ball up, but
when he throws
didn't put him in position to throw.
Right, when he throws on the run, you tend to throw sidearm, and that ball sinks, and that sunk up the line on Young.
Cruz getting a healthy lead at first base. And Lyle fouls one away. The other thing about the Padres that is always the case, they've got a great bullpen, and you know, Mason Miller gets all the plaudits, and that is deserved. 93 strikeouts in 51 innings. But Adrian Morejon has been fabulous as his setup man, and Bradley Rodriguez all of a sudden has become a weapon in that bullpen as well. He got the save the other day when Miller was not available. Off the fists, a pop up into shallow right center. Out goes Beatty, who's going to get it. Bench comes across and makes the sliding grab. Beatty and Ewing were looking at each other, and here came Benj out of nowhere to make the sliding catch for the second out.
I think they saw Benj coming in. Benj really does a good job. Now, a good job in closing on balls shallow.
And he was aggressive. He called for it all the way. He's just everywhere. So 2 out. Cruz still at first. And now Brady House takes inside. House is 0 for 1, hit by a pitch and grounded out. Scott has held the Nats to 3 hits over the first 5 2/3.
Nice pitch count. If he gets through this inning, it's beautiful.
Well, the Padres are in a 3-way tie for the 2nd and 3rd wild card spots with the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. Arizona's been hot. They've beaten the Braves 2 days in a row. Nolan Arenado had a big night last night, 2 home runs. And a pop-up. Beatty will wait for it to come down. Back pedals, grabs it, side retire. Christian Scott matches his season-long effort, going 6 innings. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-2 New York. Mets trying to sweep the Nats. The Nats Beltway counterparts, the Orioles, they just swept the Rays. After Tampa Bay had a 9-game winning streak all on the road, they go home and get swept in a series by Baltimore. Beatty swings and misses. Jake Irvin's still out there. 91 pitches, the most he's thrown since coming back from the injured list. They do get the bullpen up behind him, though. My question is Christian Scott going to go back out for the 7th inning?
Well, what's he got? 78 pitches.
They limited to 82 his last outing, and they're trying to put some kind of cap on him. So we'll see. Grounded down to first and handled there by Ortiz. Pitcher covers one out.
Ortiz handles himself well at first base.
It could be a real find for them. There's our old friend Max Kranick. Max sent us a note. Said he's still watching all the time.
Really?
Yep. He's a big Mets fan. He can't give us up that easily.
Wow.
You're a hard habit to break, Keith.
No, it's all on you.
Pulled down to first, and Ortiz has another one. And Polanco's retired. Back-to-back 3-1 putouts, and there are 2 down. So Urban, who needed a fast inning, has got the first 2 with ease. Now he's got to face the red-hot Luis Torrens. And Scott looks like he's still in the game.
Yep, looks like he's going back out there. Good, I like it. Push him.
The longest outing of his career came in his rookie season 2 years ago when he went 6 2/3. He's never finished a 7th inning. He's only had 2 starts in his career, both in 2024, where he threw a pitch in the 7th inning. Well, here's Torrens, who hit yet another home run his last time up to flip this game. Hit it to the right of center field. And, well, he's been pretty consistent in where he's hit his home runs this year.
Absolutely. That's his strength.
From center field over to right. Six home runs on the year, 4 of them in his last 17 at bats.
There you go. It's a better angle right there. 2 to Central.
And they haven't all been hit at Citi Field, but
right. And he's going with the secondary stuff on Luis. No more heaters.
Well, that's some high-speed hitting right there, brought to you by Spectrum. Flies this one to center. This will stay in the ballpark. And Urban with a nice cap to his day with a 1-2-3-6, still 4-2. We go to the 7th inning, and for the first time since before his Tommy John surgery, Christian Scott will start a 7th inning.
78 pitches, 55 strikes.
Jorabin Bibas has one of the 3 hits against Christian Scott, a liner off Lindor's glove. And he takes first pitch cutter low and in for ball 1. 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Bibas, Chaparro, and Ruiz for the Nats in the 7th. Got that cutter in on his hands, and it's 1-1.
Scott has not made mistakes with that cutter to the left-hand hitters, Garrett. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the lineup. He has not missed out over the plate. If he's missed inside.
Bibas fouled off the sweeper, and it's 1-2. This is Christian Scott's 27th career start, his 18th this year. He has never completed a 7th inning. And you know it's his goal right now.
It's overdue.
Bibas takes a curveball down, 2-2. Only bullpen catcher Eric Langiel is up in the bullpen.
Eric, they're not bringing you in.
2-2 coming, and Bibas takes the curveball low and in. It's 3-2.
No walks here.
They got ahead of him 0-2, and then threw 3 straight curveballs. Chaparro on deck. Scott's only walked 1 today, and now he's walked 2 as he misses high with that cutter. So a leadoff walk, and Christian snatches at the ball as it's returned to him by Torrens. Not happy with himself. So now the tying run comes to bat with Andres Chaparro, who homered yesterday. Today he's popped up and struck out 0 for 2. And a broken back grounder. It'll be tough to throw him out. Barehanded by Lindor, and he got him. That ball just trickled past the mound after the bat was snapped. But Lindor had enough time to get the slow-footed Chaparro for the first out.
That's a big out right there, too. Nice play by Lindor. Beautiful bare hand.
So Vivas to second, 1 out. And now Keibert Ruiz, who had an RBI single back in the second. Let's get Nate Lavender up in the bullpen. Lefty's been terrific since he came back and made his big league debut on the last road trip. 0-1 to Ruiz. Here's Lavender. Missed nearly 2 years and has come back looking great. That's ripped to first, past Young into right field, a base hit. That'll bring in Vivas. An RBI single for Ruiz, his second RBI of the day, and the Met lead is cut to 1 run. It's 4-3. And what does Andy Green do now?
I think that pitch out of this. Don't let someone clean up the mess. Let him pitch out of this.
They'll get the right-hand batter Young, but then you got the 2 lefties, Abrams and Ortiz. So this might be his last guy. Young is lined to center and struck out. And he takes fastball strike. Andy Green has done a great job instilling confidence in his young players.
Pushing them.
Both
I love it.
Pushing them and making them earn that push. Scott's high pitch count this year is 98. He's about to throw his 90th pitch of the day. One and one to the speedy Young. And he pokes one into right field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. And now the tying run moves to second base.
That should be it.
Yeah, you got the lefties coming up. You got Lavender ready in the bullpen. That was not hit hard, but Young has done that in this series. He's gone to right field several times. And Christian Scott, after throwing a pitch in the 7th inning for the first time this season, will exit after 6 1/3 with a job well done and turn it over to what has been a very proficient Mets bullpen. Calling the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Merck. By your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer today. And by the State Farm agent of the game, Floor Cawley of Glendale, New York. Contact Floor at floorcawley.com. In this revamped Mets bullpen, Nate Lavender has quickly assumed a big role. 4 outings, 4 innings, no runs, 1 hit. He comes in to face C.J. Abrams with the tying run at second. Harry Ford is running for Keibert Ruiz, carrying the tying run at second base. Abrams 0 for 3 today, 0 for 9 in this series. He fouls off the first fastball from Lavender, 0-1. Christian Scott out after 90 pitches, 6 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs so far, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, a hit batsman, and a home run. Abrams hitting .328 with runners in scoring position this year. Ball and a strike. Lavender pitched in the opening game of the series. Came into a mess in the 5th inning behind Robert Stock. Threw 3 pitches, got 2 outs. Ford at second, Young at first, both run well. 1-1 to Abrams. And the first slider is fouled back.
Boy, he got away with one there. Abrams had a rip.
Abimelec Ortiz, another left-hand hitter on deck. 1-2. Slider popped up. Torrens sheds the mask.
You got to run it out.
He's got it. Infield fly was called.
That's right. Sorry. Well, that slider backed up inside and tied up Abrams.
Well, if the Mets get the Nats out of town without Abrams having had a hit in this series, they will have done awfully well. So here's Ortiz getting into bat against a lefty. He had a home run against Scott in the 3rd. 2 on and 2 out. Mets with a 1-run lead in the 7th. And Ortiz with the up and in fastball came up empty, 0-1.
The Lavender's got a good fastball right over the top, straight up and in right there.
Lavender hides the ball extremely well. Has great extension. It really plays up from the 92 to 94 that reads on the gun. Long hold. And Ortiz gets a slider and pops it up. Torrens hoping for a play with Young, and neither will get there.
That mesh there, I would always worry to get my fingers in there and break my finger, getting it, poke it through, and that just would be a big worry.
So now Lavender ahead of the count on Ortiz, 0-2. Pickoff try and back in safely as Ford.
That's strike
They call that strike 3.
And he's challenging. It was a strike on the
previous
inside.
pitch was called a strike. The batter's challenging.
It's on the inside corner. This is a pitcher's pitch.
Well, Torrens popped out of his stance, but it was
Call strike
certainly a
is
strike.
confirmed. The batter is out. Washington has 1 challenge remaining.
That's good on the home plate umpire Willie Traynor, because a lot of times when that catcher pops up like that, you don't get the call.
Well, he was set up on the outside corner, and he popped it on the end.
Clearly a strike, though, and Lavender gets 2 more big outs to keep the Mets in front. Carson Bench doing Carson Bench things in right field today. 1 catch at the wall, 1 catch sliding in. Helping keep the Mets in front of this game.
Well, defense wins you games, and there's Harry Ford, who was put into pinch run, and now he's behind the plate.
And the former Met Max Kranick makes his 2nd appearance in this series. Well, Lavender got strike 3, and Christian Scott knew it was a strike. And now it was reviewed, and he's even happier. Kranick worked on Friday night, worked an inning in the 3rd, gave up a run scoring hit to Bo Bichette before getting out of the 7th. He'll face the top of the batting order in the 7th today. Jake Irvin, his best start since coming off the injured list. 6 innings, 4 runs, 8 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. First time he's gone 6 innings all year in his 15th start. But the Mets lead at 4-3. Ewing looking for his first hit in this series. He struck out twice and walked today. He's gone 0 for 10 in the 3 games. And Kranick misses high for ball 1. Max did some great work for the Mets last year, but then had flexor tendon surgery. Mets didn't re-sign him. The Nats did. And now making his 11th appearance for Washington. And gets the curveball in for a strike to Ewing, and it's 1-1. Kranick was in 24 games for the Mets last year, a 3.65 ERA. He looked like a keeper. Off the fist off to second base, where Vivas throws out Ewing, 1 away. Francisco Lindor continued his hot streak with a base hit in the 5th, scored a run. Hard to believe it's his 12th big league season. His 6th year with the Mets. He's been a Met longer than he was a Guardian. Francisco today a single and a walk. Last 26 games, his OPS is right around 1,000. Slider in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bo Bichette waiting on deck. Nats 3 runs, 5 hits. The Mets 4 runs and 8 hits. We're in the 7th. Lindor takes fastball upstairs, 2-1. Max Kranick from Scranton, PA. Dad was a big Mets fan. He's a big Mets fan. Other than Sammy Stafura, who the Mets just traded for, I don't know that anybody was happier to come to the Mets in the last few years than Max Kranick.
Oh, he's a big fan, of course. You tell me he still watches the broadcast?
That's what he said. Lindor 4 for 9 in this series. And he goes down swinging on the slider. Good pitch by Kranick. That's the 2nd out.
Very good pitch by Kranick. That was a pitcher perfect slider. I mean, just a little cutter right there. Beautiful.
So now Bichette, who's been on base all 3 times today, 2 opposite field singles and a walk. And both swings and misses at a first pitch breaking ball, 0-1. Mets have Daniel Duarte up in the bullpen. He has become the 8th inning guy. It's amazing how quickly roles have coalesced in this brand new Mets bullpen. We're only 11 games into the post-trading deadline incarnation of the Mets bullpen, and now Senga's established as the closer and Duarte is the 8th inning guy. It's been a remarkable job that they've done when you consider how completely overhauled the bullpen was. I mean, Devin Williams was the only guy remaining, and then he quickly got hurt right after the trading deadline.
Well, all that bullpen was all the big pieces that were everybody wanted. I mean, the Mets would have with that bullpen, where would they have been without them in the course of this season?
And yet they've replaced them with guys who are doing just as well.
Fantastic.
Never know.
Yep.
It's like your old Cardinal teammate Joaquin Andujar said. He said you can sum up baseball in 1 word.
Yes.
You never know.
That's 3 words of Joaquin.
Well, but Joaquin thought it was 1. One of my favorite baseball quotes of all time. Two out and nobody on. 1-2 to Bichette. And Bo muscles one out to center field. Back goes Young to the warning track. Back at the wall. It's off the wall. In play. Bichette around second. He's going to go to third. Bo Bichette with a triple. Second triple of the year for Bichette, and he's 3 for 3.
They got a hanger right there. And Bo has, I think, is finally comfortable. Found a home in the orange and blue. After that tough start.
Triples are not a big part of his game at this point in his career. That's his 10th career triple. It's only the second season in which he's had more than one. So now Carson Bench will try and get him in with 2 out.
That's a big run on third base to drive in. A little insurance run.
Bench holds his swing, and he did not go around. Ball 1.
Oh, I would challenge that call. It's one of the few calls that trainers miss. He's really called them. Good game back there.
Bench is 0 for 3 today. His 18-game on base streak might be on the line here. And he gets a curveball that's in for a strike, 1-1. You know, the way Jacob Young plays against the Mets, you almost expected him to catch that ball, Bichette. He makes some great plays against New York. Big cut on the curveball. He loses his helmet in the process, and it's 1-2.
Now, did you notice that Ford behind the plate got the helmet for Bench? I guarantee you Jerry Grody wouldn't have done it.
No. Got to put a hole in it. Slider low and in. That's the pitch he struck Lindor out on, and Bench was able to take it 2-2. 2-2 coming from Kranick. And Bench gets a curve and flies it out to center. Should be easy for Young. And that retires the side. A triple and 1 left. 4-3 Mets after 7.
Starting at 11, only on SNY.
Hey, it's Gary in town. We've got post-game show on the way. I was happy to see Christian Scott go back out there for the 7th.
He was very good and had a mix of pitches today, and Lavender doing his thing again.
He is tough. We'll see you guys coming up on the post-game show. Mercedes-Benz post-game live. Gary.
All right, Gary, thanks. We go to the 8th inning. David Duarte is on to pitch to face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Nats order. Dylan Cruz leads off and flies the first pitch into shallow center. A.J. Ewing is there. 1 pitch, 1 out for Duarte, who has excelled in every role the Mets have put him in, and now he's settled in as the 8th inning guy.
There's his Nissan numbers, and they are sparkling.
Pitched a 1-2-3 inning in the opening game of this series to set it up for Kodai Senga.
He knows what he's doing out there. He knows how to pitch.
Ellen Lyle is 0 for 2 and a walk. Takes cutter outside for ball 1. By the way, Senga got the save on Friday night, and then he was up in the bullpen yesterday. So they were ready to go with him back-to-back days. Now, sometimes when a guy gets hot in the bullpen, that almost counts as an appearance in terms of his availability. But the fact that Duarte is pitching the 8th would make you think that Senga is fully available for the 9th. Fly ball along the left field line. Bichette going down near the tarp. That'll land off the netting. Here's a look at the Novig K board. That pitchers have struck out 8 today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 8. 7 swinging. 1 looking. That's the backwards K. The looking.
Right. I do a KC in the sunshine, boys.
Bam.
Bam.
Get down tonight. 1-2 coming. And this is down with a sweeper. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know what? I think we got the weekend off. I think I'm going to rewatch George Burns and the Sunshine Boys. That was such a good movie.
It was, when do you get the weekend? Oh, next weekend.
Yeah. Yes. The White Sox. I plan ahead.
I have that weekend off too, Keith. I will not be watching the Sunshine.
I think I'm going to watch.
Okay. Will Frank Zappa on the turntable?
I broke my needle on my turntable. I got to get a new needle.
Do they still make needles?
Sure they do.
Off the fists, a pop-up. Torrens coming back, hoping, and reaches, and he's got it! Nicely done, right as he was going to hit one of those boards behind the plate. You run out of room because those advertising panels jut out, and he had just enough room.
Well, I think Torrens's defensive ratings in Stratomatic are going to be a 1 with an arm of probably -2, maybe -3.
Minus is good.
Oh yeah. So if you've got a AA Steeler, that's well AAA, we'll go AAA. That's 1 to 17. Well, if it's -3, it's now 1 to 14 out of 20 cards you choose from.
Thank you for the enlightenment. I will go with Torrens has a +11 defensive runs saved, which is first in baseball. And there's
Neil Simon. It was a
Rich
wonderful.
Burns and Walter Matthau and the Sunshine Boys.
Absolutely. I gotta watch. Richard Benjamin's in it. I forgot Richard Benjamin was in there.
Love Richard Benjamin and Goodbye Columbus.
Yes. He was married to Paula Prentice forever. They were married, those two. The actress Paula Prentice.
1-2 to House. On the outside corner, got him looking. 96 from Duarte, right on the black, and another 1-2-3 inning for Duarte. Oh, we're in a different part of the village today. We highlighted Perry Street yesterday. Where are we now? Oh, we're right in front of Bar Piccolino.
Okay. I'm so out of touch now. Someone told me in the truck that they have great martinis there.
Jake Bird in for his second appearance in the series. His first one did not go very well.
No, it did not. All over the place.
Worked an inning, gave up 2 runs, 3 hits. Jared Young's already had a nice day with a single and a double. Pops one up in foul ground, and House will pull up short this time after making an encounter with the netting, the concrete earlier in the game. Young's RBI double in the 5th is the difference in this game right now.
Nice double down the right field line. Got a breaking ball out over the plate. And he continues to swing the bat.
Young, Robert, and Beatty for the Mets in the 8th. Young pops one up. Should be easy for House. 1 out. Let's try to get an insurance run before Kodai Senga goes to work. Senga is up in the bullpen. He's got 2 saves in his first 2 opportunities as a closer. First one came in Atlanta. Luis Robert fouls one back. So how about this? Luis Robert plays left field today for the first time in the big leagues, and not a single ball has come his way.
Well, he's got one more crack at it.
Not a fly ball, not a hit. He hasn't touched the ball once.
Could be very boring for an outfielder. So you can go through games where the ball never finds you.
Well,
never happens at first base.
If it's never hit to you, you can't make an error.
That's true. You can't hurt the team.
I mean, the hardest part about left field, when you have the first base dugout, you got the longest run to and from your position.
Yes. A little grunt there, a little more like a groan or a roar.
Yeah, he's got the full grunt. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Robert. Jake Bird, who began his year with the Yankees, struggled there and certainly struggled here on Friday night. And Robert lines one over short, and he's got a base hit. So Luis Robert, 10 hits now in his last 30 at bats, so things are starting to come around. He'll be going back home next weekend when the Mets travel to Chicago. Played his whole career with the White Sox before this season. Brett Beatty. Let's see if Robert is inclined to try and steal a base. He has only 2 this year. Beatty had a double and scored a run in the 4th inning, 1 for 3. Honda Sports Night comes your way tonight at 11. Get you ready for the Padres series. Nolan McLean opens it tomorrow night. Tommy John passed away earlier today. More on his legacy coming up tonight. Honda Sports Night on SNY. And the breaking ball catches the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike to Beatty.
How did the Giants make out last night? Did they play?
The San Francisco Giants?
No, the New York Giants.
I have no idea.
They lost to the Vikes. Okay, well, it's preseason.
Fastball on the outer edge, and it's 2-2. It doesn't matter. Why'd you ask?
Just curious because of Harbaugh.
Okay.
Harbaugh's initial first game.
Well, the San Francisco Giants won last night. Drew Gilbert had a good game. That farmhand.
I just didn't know they were playing. I don't pay attention to preseason. Good college football around the corner. Uh-oh. I think North Carolina is going to be up against, I forget who they playing.
Swing and a miss. Beatty goes down on the sweeper. Yeah, that's the second out.
We got North Carolina's playing.
They still have Belichick?
Yes, they do.
Oh, jeez.
TCU and North Carolina in Ireland.
Two out. Here's Jorge Polanco. 1 for 3, and he drove in a run with the ground out in the 4th. Robert at first with 2 out.
That's a strike.
Ford makes the
This
challenge.
was the ball. The catcher's challenge.
I think it hit the knees.
And so it did.
Ball's overturned. Washington has 1 challenge remaining.
That's the first time that Willie Trainer's been overturned today. Young umpires had a very good game behind the plate.
Yes, he has.
To Polanco. In the 9th, the Nats will have 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Vivas, Chaparro, and Ford due up. They've got Jose Tena and Nasim Nunez as prospective left-handed pinch hitters, with Kodai Senga getting ready in the bullpen. Polanco watches on the outside corner. He's going to challenge that call.
He's going to lose the challenge.
Pitch was called a strike. The batter's challenge.
Strike 3.
That's at both of their challenges remaining. And Polanco loses
Call is
that one.
confirmed. The batter's out. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
So each team has 1 challenge left, and we're going to the 9th. Senga will be in to try to protect a 1-run lead. Kodai Senga's first 2 saves have come with 3-run leads. Today he's asked to protect a 1-run lead in the 9th. Sure beat Vivas, first man to face him. And Vivas hits it on the ground over the bag. Nicely handled by Young. Senga gets over to cover. One terrific play for one out.
Guard the lines.
That's the second terrific play in this series that Young has made going to his left.
He has done a fantastic job. And you guard the line, no doubles. Senga gets over there right away.
So one pitch and one out for Senga. Now Jose Tena is going to bat for Andres Chaparro to give them a left-handed bat. Tena started the first game of the series, went 0 for 2. And they're swinging early at the fastball because they don't want to see the forkball.
Well, you're down 1 run. Everybody should be geared to fastball.
Senga's been throwing almost exclusively those 2 pitches, fastballs and forkball.
Another one
with a couple of fastballs to get to head on Tena 0-2. Well, Senga is not necessarily thrilled about being a closer, but he has run with the job. Got the save in the opening game of this series and trying for another today. Ahead 0-2. Goes with the forkball and misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Harry Ford, who came in to pinch run and stayed in behind the plate, is now the on deck hitter. 1-2 to Tena, and he rolls over that forkball and just was able to keep it alive at 1-2. Senga pitched Friday. He was up and getting hot yesterday before the Mets walked it off, and now in the game again today. This is a new experience for him. 1-2 coming. And he struck him out on a forkball in the dirt, recovered by Torrens. 2 out.
Now you're ahead in the count. You can throw the hard one in the dirt.
Nice barehanded recovery by Torrens for the 2-3 putout. Now the Nats are down to their final out of the day. Harry Ford up for the first time. Ford started yesterday, went 0 for 3. And Ford takes a fastball just off the plate for ball 1. Ford takes that fastball on the inside edge, crackling in at 97. It's 1-1. One and one to Harry Ford. And the forkball swung and missed. And the Nats are down to their final strike.
That was a good one right there.
One-two from Senga. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Another one that popped up in the air on Torrens, just like the previous strikeout pitch. Creating some debris to avoid getting a bad bounce on that forkball. 2-2 coming. He struck him out, and the ball game is over. Kodai Senga with a 1-2-3 ninth, and the Mets sweep the series from the Nationals. Another big home run for Luis Torrens. And the Mets have now won 9 of their last 12 as they defeat the Nationals 4-3 to complete the sweep.
Well, Torrens continues his hitting. That young man right there, Benj, made some fine plays in the field. Young drove in the go-ahead, the winning run with the double 2 hits today. Made 2 fine plays down the line with his glove, and the Mets are on a roll.
Christian Scott pitching into the 7th for the first time this season. Torrens put the Mets in front with a home run, and the forkball from Senga was dastardly. Senga now 3 for 3 in save opportunities, asked to do a little more heavy lifting today with a 1-run lead, and he did it brilliantly with a 1-2-3 ninth inning as the Mets blew away the Nationals. They've now won 6 out of 10 from Washington this season.
And they're 3.5 from getting out of the cellar here.
Today's win presented by Moomoo. Create a Moomoo account to join Winners Rush, where every Mets win is your chance to win too. Terms and conditions apply. Moomoo Financial Inc. member FINRA SIPC. Here's your game summary. Christian Scott gets his 4th win, pitching into the 7th for the first time. Torrens hit the 2-run homer. Jared Young had the RBI double that was the difference, and the Mets have now won 9 of their last 12. The Amazing Mets Foundation is proud to contribute $2,500 to Northwell Health and the Cass Institute for Women's Health for every Mets win. For more information, visit northwell.edu/cats. The total contribution so far this season is $140,000. Kodai Senga puts on the finishing touches, now 3 for 3 in save chances, and the Mets win at 4-3. We're coming up from Citi Field in a moment. Luis Torrens' home run in the 4th inning means one lucky fan of the game $15,000 courtesy of the New York Lottery. For your chance to win, enter the Swing for the Fences promotion with New York Lottery Plus today. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Nissan. Every Nissan is designed for people who refuse to settle for less. Visit NissanUSA.com or your local dealer. By Prevagen. By Resorts World New York City, a world like no other. Resorts World NYC's only casino with thousands of slots and 24/7 live dealer table games. And by Mercedes-Benz, visit your local dealer today. Final score this afternoon, the Mets 4, the Nationals 3. The Padres are in tomorrow night to start a 3-game series. Nolan McLean on the mound for the Mets. Walker Buehler for the Padres. Coverage begins at 6:30. First pitch at 7:10 tomorrow night, right here on SNY. Now for Keith Hernandez, Steve Gelbs, and our entire SNY crew, I'm Gary Cohen at Citi Field. After this break, it's Mercedes-Benz Postgame Live with Gary Apple and Todd Zeal.
It's Gary Apple, Todd Zeal back inside our SNY studios. Mercedes-Benz postgame live. Another